Oh, here we go. Must have been literally living on that piece of structure I was on. Smallmouth.
This week on Kentucky Afield.
Nice.
We're on Lake Cumberland with an old friend searching for hungry bass.
Oh, got him?
Yep, that might be a striper.
Next, frog legs are the perfect blend of fish and chicken.
Look at that one right there.
We're at a farm pond trying to find a few.
He jumped.
Then, we head to eastern Kentucky to hunt down one of the state's most challenging sport fish.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
Uh-oh, there's a fish right there. Fish on, fish on, fish on, fish on.
It's all next on Kentucky Afield.
Such a pretty fish.
Beautiful.
This pond is plumb loaded with frogs.
They're everywhere in here. Yeah, this is a good fish right here. Really good fish.
Come here, girl.
Yeah, boy. That's a big rabbit.
Nice job.
Yes!
Yes! My first muskie.
Mercy Leo!
Yeah, look at it. It's a keeper.
There it goes. Boom.
Wow, that happened fast.
Hello, and welcome to Kentucky Afield. I'm your host, Chad Miles. Join us as we journey the Commonwealth in search of outdoor adventure. Many of us have our favorite fishing buddy, but sometimes we fall out of touch. Hey, catching up with an old friend on the water, now that makes for a great day. Out here today on Lake Cumberland, and this is a blast from the past. We're here with my buddy Creed Fowler. Now, Creed, you and I used to fish a lot together. Did some tournament fishing.
Did a little bit, yeah.
And this is the first time we've been in a boat together in how long?
I was thinking about that yesterday, and I bet it's been, I don't think it's been a decade, but it's got to be awful close to it.
Eight or nine years, yeah. I love this lake.
Not much not to love about this lake. It's full of striper, largemouth, smallmouth, spots. Got a little bit of everything.
I'll tell you what, we got a lot of traffic out on the lake right now. It looks like, one, I can tell the stripers are biting. There's striper boats are everywhere, and there's a lot of bass boats. There's a big college qualifier this weekend, so we're probably gonna have some company. Hey, you know what? Maybe we can watch what these guys are doing, and if we start out slow, maybe we'll learn a thing or two. Are you ready to go?
I'm ready. A lot of stain in the water.
There we go. You got it?
Yep, that's a bass.
A bad start, first spot. Fish on. Uh-oh. There you go.
Nice. Thank you.
Way to get started. That little pink head, that's what they want today.
Like I said, bubble gum.
I'm assuming that all these smallmouth are going to be post-spawn.
Yeah, I'd say so. I'd say they're about done with it.
But that's a pretty good little fish there.
Wouldn't be a keeper here, but we're not tournament fishing
We're
today.
not tournament fishing. We're just out here enjoying ourselves, catching up. Oh, here we go. Must have been literally living on that piece of structure I was on.
Smallmouth. Nice. Well, that's two pretty quick. That's a keeper. Nice.
There we go. Nice smallmouth. Now both of these fish were caught on swim baits. I'm throwing a little bit of different bait, but it's about the same size head. I got a little different color. You know, this stained water, I like to enhance it with a little bit of color, kind of a natural colored bait with something really bizarre on one end or the other. You've chosen to go hot pink on the head, and I got a little chartreuse on the tail. We'll check this one out. I believe this one's close to 18 inches.
Oh yeah, he's way there.
18 3/4. So if we were tournament fishing, we'd have a start. Nice fish. I tell you what, I love catching these smallmouth. It just absolutely tears me up.
I know it does. If you like to fish and you're not into that, you need to get into something else.
Yep. So a lot of times when I'm fishing a little bit of stained water, I like throwing very natural color. This was actually called a sexy shad. It's a Kitech lure. And rather than painting the whole thing, This stuff will stain no matter what it touches, so keep it away from your boat. I mean, just put a little bit on the tail. When this thing comes to the water, that thing's gonna be dancing back and forth, and it really, really shows up in this stained water. If I can see it better, I'm hoping that means the fish can see it better as well. Got him?
Yeah, that might be a striper. Oh no, I can't tell what it is. No, it's a bass. Boy, he's got some shoulders.
That's a keeper there too. I'm glad all these college kids are not hanging out right here. They'd be like, hey, we need to fish right here.
That's a nice one.
That's a good fish there. Creed, that fish is really thick.
Yeah, that one may not be spawned out. That's 19.
19 inches, nice job. That one's a lot thicker than the one I caught. That's a beautiful fish, man. I'll tell you what, we'll take them all day long.
He's still mean.
We'll tell you this, now we're sitting in 50 feet of water, but this point comes out a long way. The length of the cast that I'm making here, I'm having no trouble whatsoever hitting in 10 foot of water. It could probably get even more shallow than that. There he is. Under the boat, coming out, there we go. Oh, it's a smaller fish. Whoa!
Nice
He
shot.
weren't in that net. Oh man, that one's gonna be a little short of the keeper. Uh-oh. That's the bite that just keeps on biting. Otherwise known as the bank. You know, Creed, 10 years ago, you and I were fishing a ton together, and it wasn't like somebody moved, somebody said something bad about each other's wife. We just, you know, life happened. That's about the time that you and I both started having families and kind of got away from fishing a little bit. I mean, I know you still fish, but...
Yeah, that was about the time you and I both had our first kids about the same time, and you're kind of lucky you got into a profession where it kind of worked out to keep hunting and fishing. It slowed me down a little bit. You know, my oldest one now is 12, he's almost 13, and my youngest one's 10, and all of a sudden they both kind of taken a pretty big interest in fishing. More of an interest in catching than fishing.
You know, this is a place that you and your dad came a lot as a kid. You kind of learned how to fish on Cumberland, didn't you?
We used to striper fish here some when I was a kid. And I grew up bass fishing a little bit. We actually used to fish the tailwaters below the dam for trout quite a bit when I was younger. That was really my dad's favorite place. As a matter of fact, my dad's ashes are down there in the Cumberland River below the dam. Yeah, that was his place.
The great thing about fishing is that it's always there and you can always come get back into it. I mean, you can get away from fishing, get back into it.
I'm enjoying it. I'm trying to feed that flame and hopefully keep that going, because yeah, I enjoy it, and I enjoy getting out there with them too. So it's one of those things that it's a great way to spend some leisure time, but obviously a great time spending with your family too. There you go.
You come off. Came back and got it.
He's determined.
It's a little fish.
No, it's not.
Ain't so bad.
That's not. That's a keeper. Little fish.
That fish must have been swimming right at me because he didn't feel that big. And it's a solid 3-pounder. I swear, I cast it up in there and was retrieving it, and he popped it, and I missed it. And I just kept retrieving it. About the same speed, slowed down, hit it again, missed it, smacked Creed while my hook set, and cast it right back up in there, and bam, just smashed it. This is gonna be close. Oh, if we were tournament fishing, we'd be upset. Look at
I
that.
had to stretch him out a little bit.
A great fun fish to catch right there.
It's a chum.
Well, Creed, I say we run up toward the dam. This rain looks like it's set in. Let's get our rain gear on before we make this next run and move on up the lake, hopefully find another couple good fish.
Let's do it. Oh, there it is.
This fish here is gonna be really close to being a keeper.
Well, I barely had him. Look at that.
Hey, it counts. That counts. I tell you what, it's been a good day though.
Yeah.
You and I we've had a lot of good fishing trips together, but I'm glad you're really getting back in and got a boat and introducing your boys to fishing.
Yeah, I've enjoyed it. I appreciate you having me out. Good to see you and spend some time with you again.
Absolutely. I'm looking forward to doing this more. One of my all-time favorite seasons is in. That's frog gigging. Get you a gig or a gun and get out and enjoy hunting frogs. We're here in Woodford County tonight, and it is July. It's hot, and tonight we are after what?
Bullfrogs.
Bullfrogs. You know, Travis, you called up a couple weeks ago, and you were actually college roommate with one of our videographers, Jameson Standard, and said, hey, Jameson, do you guys ever like to frog gig? Jameson's like, man, this is one of Chad's favorite things in the world. And you said, I got a honey hole.
Yeah, this is one of our best spots. We scouted it for a couple days. I think it's gonna be a productive evening.
So how long have you guys been chasing frogs?
I've been chasing frogs since I was 16, 17 years old.
Oh, yeah.
It's something I really enjoy. You can do it. There's a lull between turkey season and dove season, and this is a perfect way to fill that lull.
So the goal is going to be let it get dark and try to fill a skillet full of frog legs.
Yeah.
I'll tell you, it's one of my favorite things to eat, and one of my favorite things to do is get out. This time of year, you know, there's tons of fishing opportunities, but if you want to get out and do something like this, listen to that. You want to get out here and do something like this, you know, it gives you an opportunity. It's kind of like hunting. In a time of year where there's not a whole lot of that going on, you can get a frog gig, you can get your pellet rifle, whatever you want to do.
Grab them by your hand if you want.
Grab them by your hand. I mean, there's so many different ways to get them. And frog gigging season is a long period of time. You've got from the third Friday in May all the way till October. What's your favorite conditions for frog gigging?
Well, you like it to be hot, you know, unfortunately, you know, a lot of us don't like to get out when it's this hot, but you get a nice warm, still night, good humidity, and get the bugs flying, and that's when you really get into the frogs.
Oh, yeah. Well, I tell you what, let's get our gear together and kind of put a game plan, and I mean, they're right here right now. We'll get in there and get after them. What do you think?
Yes, sir.
Let's do it.
All right, let's go. Look at that one right there. Let's try to make a move on that joker.
Ooh, big dude.
And there's a couple around it, but let's move down here a little bit and we'll get him lit up when we get down on the water edge and try to get around top of him. He jumped. All right, well, that should be the first of many chances.
There's a couple right there. We'll have to just check them for size. That one right there is for sure big enough.
All right, there's one right there that might be big enough. You gotta start somewhere, right?
That's right.
There you go. He's big enough.
Chad, let's light this one up right here, man.
Can you get that far out? All right. I believe we got a frog on the end of the stick there.
I don't know if I got him or not.
I believe you do. Nice. That's a nice little lean out there to grab that joker. All right. I'll tell you what, there is absolutely nothing better.
All right, let's go up in these trees. We're gonna find a bunch, okay? You gotta come up on the top side on these.
That's a big frog right there, guys.
Hold on, don't move it, don't move it. Drive it to the ground. Got him.
Wow. Dude, that was awesome. Where did you?
Barely got him back here on the web.
Got it. That's a big frog. That's a big, now that's 12-inch frog right there, I think.
Yep.
He tried to jump in my pocket. That's a good frog right there now. I saw it go in and I could tell that it was behind him a little bit. And I saw that splash and I thought, what in the world just happened?
I guess with the trajectory, I was up on the bank a little bit. I mean, when I
Undershot
lunged, I was just right behind him.
Nice recovery. This frog almost got away twice. Right here in front of me. Oh, that's a good one there. Here we go.
Good deal, man.
Nice. I feel like a 16-year-old kid right now, I will tell you that.
fun, isn't it?
It's so much fun. There's something about it being out here. I remember being a kid, you're like, oh, I'm out later than I'm supposed to be, and you're tired, you wake up that next morning, and the second you wake up, head's off the pillows, a big smile on your face. You're like, that was cool, that was fun. You got one?
Yeah, he's just a little small. We're gonna let him go, but
I'll tell you what, I was just showcasing another way to go out there and catch them.
yeah, you can catch him.
There you go. All right. Nice job.
Nice job, bros.
That's a good one. Eight-foot gig is almost not enough. When they start getting that big broke,
Ooh, watch out.
they start getting that big hump in their back right there, and those discs get about the size of a dime, you know you got a good one.
Big old frog.
I hear him back on that
You
levee.
know what they're doing, don't you? They're making fun of us.
That's right.
Because we've been through there twice.
I say what we do this time, we'll grab my pellet rifle, we'll come up on that bank and see if we can't get down to some of these that are more difficult to get a gig in there.
Shot.
Nice.
All right. I got him right there, do you see him?
I see him.
Got him.
All right, Chad, he's right there.
Good shot.
Nice one.
I tell you what, the old pellet gun's 3 for 3.
Guys, I stepped over right beside this spillway right here, and there's a big bullfrog sitting right up underneath this drain. We're gonna see if I can't come over the top of him and get him this way.
I'll go down here and shine him if you try to get on top and see if you can get a shot down. Nice.
Yes, sir. Look at that shot.
Look at that big old white belly on that frog. Wow. Nice shot. Got him.
Nice job.
Got him?
Got him.
Got him?
Nope. Gone.
I thought it looked like it hit him pretty square.
I don't know, man. I've missed a few myself.
So we gave it a good hour, let it settle back down. I say we make one more trip around it. There's a good chance there's gonna be one sitting up there with a headache or a backache or
Backache.
Hold on, guys. He's right here. See him?
You may shoot him again?
If you got a good shot on him, go ahead. Got him! I tell you what, this is just a lot of fun. I really appreciate you having us out. This has been an absolute blast.
Hey, thanks for coming out and hanging out with us. We had a great time.
One of the biggest challenges when it comes to fishing in the state of Kentucky is catching a muskie. Pick up a local fishing guide and you'll find out there are muskie close to you. So Tyler, we're out here fishing in eastern Kentucky for the largest game fish we have in the state of Kentucky. Most people that have never done this would expect something a little different. They think big water, big fish, big water, right?
Right.
But you're born and raised in Clay County. This is where you catch muskie, isn't it?
This is it. This is right here. This little small town river, man. I mean, most people would say it's a creek, really.
Yeah. So what other areas do you fish in eastern Kentucky for muskie?
We fish the Goose Creek, obviously, South Fork, North Fork, Middle Fork, and then Buckhorn Lake is mainly our rivers we focus on the most.
Yeah. So this is where you get most of your fishing time is in right here.
It's hard to beat right here in these little small rivers.
And so you really got into muskie fishing in high school.
High school was when I caught my first fish, and it kind of just hooked me from there, and I ain't never looked back.
You know, I remember my first muskie, which hadn't been that long ago, and I'm sure that most people who go out fishing, they know every time they drive by a spot, I caught one there, I know I caught one here, and you just don't forget them, do you?
You never forget them. It's a memory you'll never forget. Why don't you grab that dude right there?
All right. June, It's warm, it's a little humid. These water temperatures, though, are a lot cooler. This isn't like being out on the middle of the lake where it's 80-degree water temperature. There you go. Probably be the last time I do that today. Tyler, tell me what we've got now.
We got 4 poles out. We're trolling about 3.2 miles an hour. It's about the perfect speed. We're just gonna focus on the channel up through here. That's where I marked a few fish.
Okay, so if we start hearing that tick, 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 tick noise, that's when we know it's about to get busy.
On.
One person grab a rod, the next one grab the net and get ready, huh?
Get him in the net.
Uh-oh, uh-oh.
Uh-oh, there's a fish right there. Fish on, fish on, fish on, fish on. Tell me when you got him. You got him?
Yep. There we go. You got a fish on. Here we go. Here we go. Look at that. Look at that fish. Keep that rod tip low here.
Bring him right up to me and I'll net him. Good one.
There we go.
Got him.
Got him.
All right. Yes, sir.
Yes.
That's what he's looking.
Looky there. Awesome. What a pretty fish, huh?
Love it.
I tell you what,
Fish of 10,000.
they say it's a fish of 10,000 cast, but I can't believe I just did that.
It's a good release.
I think I saw a hint of embarrassment on his face. He's like, you guys showed the world that I got duped by that white bait.
Right.
I'm out of here. And he was. Like I said, that's where we were getting ready to put it anyway. Well, Tyler, we got a fish in the boat. That's all.
One in the boat so far.
That's, you know, that doesn't always happen on a muskie trip, so that's pretty good. You know, we got up this morning and we tried to catch them on top water, and you saw a few fish on the graph under the boat in the middle.
We did. They was pretty much suspended right in the channel, so I figured trolling would have been a good method today, and it did pan out for us.
Now, the last 30 minutes or so we've been watching the graph, we haven't seen anything in the middle, so that means they got to be, I think, on the bank. So let's make a transition. You know, a 2-fish day would just be insane, but
That'd be great.
But
And we still got good odds.
Hey, it's still pretty early, so
Yeah.
we can put some lures on there and start casting at them. What do you think?
Let's do it.
All right. So, you know, we started off topwater fishing this morning. How often do you see a muskie or hear a muskie hit topwater?
Early in the morning, your odds of catching a fish on topwater, you know, it's about like any other fish.
Have you just heard them explode on topwater while you're fishing?
When they do hit the top of the water, it's vicious.
I bet.
Yeah, man. You definitely know hey, that was a muskie right there. There ain't no other fish like that gonna blow up on top of the water. It's like that fish caught here last week. Caught him right there off that log. And I bet when I hooked him, he come a foot out of the water at that top water and just choked it down.
Now, what's that called?
That's just an old bulldog. Soft plastic bulldog.
Bulldog, okay.
Fish.
Got a fish on
Fish
right
on.
there.
Bait change and a fish on. Oh, he's putting a good fight. Ready?
Yep.
Here he comes. Right here, right from the net. Bring him to you. Got him.
Got it.
Yeah, man. There's 2 in the boat.
Awesome. One trolling, and now you've hooked up with one on a
On a bulldog, just soft plastic bulldog.
second
Bam.
muskie by noon.
Yes, sir.
That is awesome. Let's get this
That's the
fish
way
up.
we like it.
How to be able to come out here in a morning. We haven't raised a bunch of fish, but we've had 2 strikes and 2 fish on.
2 fish on.
To have a 37 and a 34 incher in a day, in a morning,
Awesome day.
pretty
Can't
awesome.
complain at all.
What a great little fishery you got right here in Clay County.
Yes, sir.
Let's get that fish back in. Now let's check in and see who else has been out having fun in this week's Ones That Didn't Get Away. Here we have Tara Johnson from Berea, Kentucky, who took herself a nice tom turkey. Congratulations. Here we have Paisley with their very first crappie ever caught out of her papaw's pond. Check out River Wright, who's 5 years old. He has a beautiful red ear sunfish caught on Dale Hollow Lake. Here we have Chuck Maynard of Bergen, Kentucky. He went to Cedar Creek Lake and caught this nice largemouth bass. Here we have Logan Stumbo of Floyd County with his first turkey ever, a nice big tom. Check out the size of this big turkey from Rick Robb. This is a nice 25-pound turkey taken in Bath County. Hey, next weekend is Memorial Day. Make plans now to get outdoors and have a safe, happy weekend. And remember, hunting and fishing on private property is a privilege. Always ask permission and thank the landowner. Until next week, I'm your host, Chad Miles, and I hope to see you in the woods or on the water.